What's up? This is Lyrical G, a rapper from Uganda, one of the pioneers of the hip hop movement in Uganda. And right now I'm chilling with Black Dog Bond, representing for Mother Dog, doing it the African way.
So tell me, when we were talking, you were talking about rap magazines and stuff, and you seem to be like this collector that everyone has come to you for CDs, information. I mean, you basically shape what's going on in Uganda in a major way.
Okay. Um, okay. Basically, I'm one of those few individuals that have been collecting and compiling hip hop paraphernalia or literature. We got CDs, tapes, magazines, documentaries, DVDs. A lot of my colleagues used to come down to my house back in the day just to come and and borrow a book or a new album that had just come out because I was always getting hold of all this new stuff when it came out, and my peers they always came to borrow from me. Mother Dope, and I got introduced to Mother Dope through an old friend, and he's not around at the moment, but I fell in love with the book because of the exposure it gave independent and underground artists the world over. All these artists that featured. I saw Messi Mav, A40, Lyrical, Sipo. I got to know all these individuals through Mother Dog. And also, going out to collect their albums. Because with this Mother Dog here, you were able to see their album covers. Say, for instance, you see Brother Lynch CD. So you see the cover of the album in one of the pages. So you're able to know that Brother Lynch has a new album. So I'll go down online and try and look for it, see if I can download it, and then continue also passing it on to my colleagues so they can listen and get to know who these rappers are, because they're independent, they're underground, so they're not on major labels, and you can't find their stuff just like that. You'll have to dig deep online. Their albums are online. So I was one of the few individuals that collected. All my peers will tell you that they came down to Lyrical G's house. They used to call it the basement. Come down and borrow a tape. Sibo's new album, Yakmouth's new album, A40's new album. At the same time, we're also trying to improve our skills as rappers, because we had dreams of being rappers, and earning a living out of this rap industry. So collecting these albums and collecting this material, especially Mother Dog, reading about these artists and how they hustled to get to where they are, kind of like helped us as well to build our character and build ourselves as rappers, so that we can do it the independent black way. You always start independent before you go major, so we're always independent, just like Mother Dog.
What I heard about you was like you were with Bataka Underground. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh yeah. When I started out as a rapper, because I started out as a fan, a collector of rap and material, concerning rap. But as a rapper, I started out in a group called Bataka Underground. This is far back as what, 17 years ago, 20 years ago. We were high school kids, me and my colleagues Saba Saba, Babaluku, the late DJ Momo, Chaga, and a couple of other rappers would converge and perform for our peers and our colleagues and the fans down at a spot called DV8. This is many years ago. We're the pioneers, we're the founding, we're founding fathers of the hip hop movement, the Luga Flow movement in Uganda. Me and my colleagues rapped in Luganda. I did a bit of Luganda and English, just so for our fans that went into the Luganda, who never understood Luganda, because back then hip hop was a small thing. It wasn't as major as it is right now. Right now you have so many characters and so many rappers out there representing. Back then it was just a few of us. The Bataka movement was something we started out, to inspire other people, and also in our free time, because we never had much to do. I think the world was slow. Right now everything is fast. People are moving fast. The world is moving fast. Back then you just needed, when you're in the holidays, what you do, you sit down and write raps. So me and my colleagues, we got together, formed Bataka Underground, and would showcase, go down there and then drop a few bars here and there, rap in DV8 and all these other hip hop concerts and competitions. I won a couple of competitions myself back then. So through this Bataka movement, we were able to breed a whole generation of rappers that you see now in Uganda, East Africa. We have the Luga Flow movement. It was because of Bataka Underground that the Luga Flow movement is major now. it's also because of Bataka Underground that you have a couple of rappers doing their English thing and expressing themselves in a different language, French, English, or the local dialects as it is.
Because when I talked to Meet, man, he was talking so much about you, how they used to go Navio and everyone, and how the group got formed, and so I was like, wow, this is so exciting. And they love you, man. They just like give you a lot of
Oh
props.
yeah, what can I say? A lot of rappers will tell you I inspired them or influenced them. Why? For starters, I'm quite older than the majority of rappers at the moment. You see, all my peers and all these other co-rappers and all these other people that the hip hoppers down here in Uganda, especially, they're they're much younger. They were in high school, or they were actually in primary school when some of us, when Lyrical G, for instance, was rapping. That's why a lot of times people will tell you Lyrical G inspired me. We used to go to his house because my house was like the meeting point for all MCs, aspiring MCs. We never had much. We didn't have songs. All we had were verses. We didn't record anything down. All these groups that came out after, we all converge. You have members of, say, Bataka Underground. You have members of Clear Cut, members of Urban Life, and different rappers who went on to form their own groups or their labels or whatever. They came down to my place. We used to call it the basement. They came
Where
down
was it?
the basement in Tinda, right in Tinda where I live, where I was born and bred. Because Tinda is home of the MCs. So all these rappers, being neighbors and being from Tinda, we were able to exchange ideas and try to craft our art and improve our skills and take it to levels that people never expected us to. I mean, where would I have been if my boys never came down to teach me new ideas? They knew I was older than them, and them they were younger, and they were in high school, and I was already through. I graduated from school, but I learned from them, and being a teacher of sorts, reading a lot and sharing these experiences, we're able to exchange ideas and see how we can build this hip hop thing, take it from a small child to a grown to a grown child. That's the hip hop thing.
Lyrical, you tell me like I feel like I meet so many rappers and I feel like man, there's so much talent here, and I wish that the business people, the community, the clubs would really support this because I just feel like it's really happening here,
Yeah,
and they need to support it.
yeah. We're trying as much as possible to reach out. I mean, we try and do wax or release albums or songs with messages that can inspire the youth. We're conscious rappers. Personally, I'm a conscious rapper slash. I'm a storyteller. I'm a teacher. I tell people, guys, with what I feel is happening in my life is what I express on my records or in my raps. So we try as much as possible when you're recording an album to balance it and teach teach the people out there, the listeners. Give them hope. Try and inspire them so that they can keep in the right track. So we urge all these other companies. I just wish all the major companies out there that support events and gigs and stuff came out and supported the artists, because there's so much talent out here in Uganda and East Africa. So much talent. Rappers are like every day there's a new rap song playing on the radio every day, and it's thanks to some of us that this is happening. But we are urging all the other companies out there, the events managers and all the powers that be,